ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to your Los Angeles City Hall and the regular meeting of your Los Angeles City Council. Today is Tuesday, the 7th day of January in the year 2025. My name is Marquise Harris-Dawson. I serve as president of this council. Public comment will be taken in person in the council chambers for today's meeting. Can we begin our proceedings by calling the roll?
Yes, Mr. President. Blumenfield, Harris-Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Jurado, Lee, McOsker, Nazarian, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky. 11 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
All right, what's the first order of business? Councilmember Price.
Mr. President, in an abundance of caution, the city attorney has asked me to recuse myself from item 2 due to the fact that I'm a landlord. And additionally, I'm recusing myself from items 32 and 34 because my wife's employer has worked with applicants on those items. 2, 32, and 34.
Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
My name is Jeff Lloyd, and I'm talking about the Wilshire Center proposal. I don't know which item number it is. I just want to say that I'm against this proposal, and I'm against even 1 cent more of tax. And I'll give you a little context on that. I hitchhiked here as a homeless orphan in 1983, and I lived on those streets for 2 years. So I've been a landlord for many years, didn't finish high school, didn't go to college, and I worked 7 days a week, and I still do. So we cannot take one more tax, not 1 more cent. You already have the money. So you've been given the money by sales tax, you've been given the money in every other way. You've destroyed us systematically. You didn't allow us to collect rents for years. I lost all my properties, so I have a little bit left. I'm in foreclosure right now. I owe tens of thousands in taxes, and we cannot take this. I agree with you completely. We need this on our streets. We need community policing. We need the streets cleaned up. You have the money already. Take your time instead of taxing us to the point that you kill us, and which you already have almost killed me. But the fact is this, very simply, we need all this. Yep. Please, we need this, but we don't need another
Speaker,
tax.
your time has expired.
Not even a cent. Thank you.
Good morning, City Council members.
And which items would you like to speak to?
My name is Philip Singer. I'm a military veteran. I'm a victim of police brutality. I think it's very unfair that you let your police departments hide information, destroy data, go into your metadata, and just destroy the information in your phones. I'm a victim of police brutality from Inglewood. That happened to me back in 2021. At that time, they said they do a investigation. Your police commissioner, Florence Yu, sir. Florence Yu at that time, when she was a police commissioner, she said she'd do an investigation for 1 year, led by Detective Lukaszowski in 2021, and she'd get back to me, sir. It's 2025. And no one's gotten back to me, sir. Commissioner Florence Yu is now the Inspector General. Sir, what happened? What happened to the symmetry and her saying and doing? So apparently she's going to say something
your
and not
time
do
has
it.
expired. We have to move on to the next speaker.
Military veteran, just seeing how you're doing wrong. My bad for being a human being in America.
Good morning. My name is Grecia Castillo. I live in District 1. I am an AC member. I live in a black stone building. I am asking for rent increases not higher than 3%. Current increases affect me. My family, household, and I, we're all disabled and low income. We have been struggling to pay rent, and if rent keeps increasing soon, we will become homeless again. We have meetings with other neighbors in the building, and most of them have been there for a long time. And we all fear that rent increases will mean that we will be in the streets by the next couple of years. Thank you so much.
Good morning, Council. My name is Dorothea White-Bright. I'm from District 8, which is Marquise Harris Dawson's district.
And which
I hope you're
items?
listening to me, Mr. Dawson. I'm here because we want the rent to be paused, the increase on rent to be paused. LARSO is important. Please, we need your help. You said you want to champion this for us, Mr. Harris Dawson. We're looking forward to you helping us. I live in a community on 70th and Hoover in a building where my rent is being increased every year, more than 10%. My neighbors are being harassed by the property management. Every month, they're handing our checks back to us, lying and saying we owe fees that we do not need to be paying for things that we shouldn't be paying for. A broken doorknob, wiping mold off the wall in my bathroom, and charging me $55. And people are afraid, they're paying it, they're being harassed, they're intimidated. You are to help us. That is your job. I voted for you, and I plan to vote for you again. I thank you for what you've done. I don't need just movies in the park. Thank you for the movies in the park.
Speaker, your
but we
time has
need more than
expired.
movies in the park. We need the
Speaker,
rent lowered.
your time has
We need the
expired. We need to
pause
move on to the
rent,
next speaker.
and we need
So, Speaker, this is your first and only warning. Please, thank you.
Ok, yo estoy aquí para pedirle al Consejo que por favor apoyen a la actualización LARSO, ya que están ahorita aumentando la renta muy alta y nosotros queremos, ¿verdad?, mantenernos en nuestras viviendas, en nuestra comunidad.
Permítame. I'm here to ask the council to please support and update the LARSO to avoid the increase in rents because we keep on having our housing.
Yo estoy aquí para eso, ¿verdad? Para decirles que por favor voten, apoyen esta ordenanza. Ya no queremos más familias en las calles, tenemos muchísimas familias en las calles. De verdad, por favor, pongan la mano en su pecho y hagan eso de mantener a sus familias en sus hogares.
Please vote and support this ordinance. We don't want more families on the streets. We have too many right now. We ask you to please put your hand on your heart and help us on this.
También estoy aquí para pedirles que voten por la ordenanza Tajo, para que no haya más acosos a las familias por los dueños o renteros.
I am here also to ask you to vote for the ordinance Tajo so that there's no more harassments to the renters.
Okay. General public comment. You have 1 minute.
Ahora hable, por favor, el comentario público general tiene 1 minuto.
Sí, eso es también lo de LARSO, lo de Tajo, que por favor hagan que la ordenanza se refuerce, que se implemente para que todas las familias no estén sufriendo ese acoso, porque igual de la misma manera nos mandan a la calle al vivir esa situación.
We ask you to please reinforce and implement that ordinance so that no families are harassed and they are not sent to the streets.
También le quiero agradecer a la señorita Nitia Rama y a todo el consejo por todo el apoyo que nos han brindado a esa ordenanza.
I also want to thank you, Ms. Anita Rama, and all the council members for the support that they have given us on that ordinance.
Y por favor, voten sí para que mantengan sus familias en sus hogares.
And please vote yes so that families are kept in their houses.
Ya que yo estoy viviendo ese acoso, esa intimidación y tengo 4 niños con necesidades especiales, soy mamá soltera y apenas puedo trabajar part-time para poder mantenerme en el hogar.
I am being intimidated and harassed. I am a single mother with 4 special children, and I'm working a part-time job.
Por favor, les ruego, hagan su trabajo y mantengan a toda su comunidad en sus hogares. Ya no más gente en las calles. Gracias.
Please do your work and keep families in their houses. No more harassments. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. I hope everybody have a very nice Christmas, because some of us, we didn't. First of all, I'm in support of LARSO, and it is necessary that we also start enforcing Tahoe, because there's a lot of people that is being harassed right now, and the rents had been raised very highly, and that is unjust. There's a lot of people on the street we don't need anymore. We need to enforce those ordinances. It is necessary. It's just humanitarian. It is like a punishment to all of us. Now we have all the rent increases that the landlords have wanted. Through years, they had been making money off of us, and now they're going to be making more. That is not right. That is not fair. And it's unjustifiable. We need to have more protections for the tenants, and we need to enforce. Tahoe right now, there's a lot of people. My sister was unhoused illegally. She's now on the street, and it's just unjust. It hurts me to see my sister on the street without a place to stay just because the landlord wanted to get away with it, and he was allowed to do that. So please, do enforce Tahoe, and do enforce and support LARSO. Thank you very much.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items
Yeah,
you'd like to speak to.
Hamid Khan, and it's item 20 and general comments.
So you have, wait,
So item 20 is talking about license plate readers. And first of all, we have to be very clear that license plate readers are not targeted surveillance. It is a part of a mass surveillance system. This is the part of a much bigger architecture of surveillance that the LAPD has developed over many, many years, which includes stingrays, digital receiver technology, and all of them feed into each other. So this is not just a piece of like you can install them in a local neighborhood and that's where this will end. This is much more pervasive and much more wider. The second thing is that photos from license plate readers are not just of plates, but include anyone in and around the car, as well as stickers or other identifying marks on the car, which can provide additional information about the person and their affiliation. So the license plate readers, again, are not just about tracking that one point, it's about tracking the movement of the people that surround that car, and everything else that surrounds them there too. Secondly, license plate readers, all that information is accessible to ICE. So I had 2 minutes.
You're on general public comment now. So you do your first minute on the item, and now you have general public comment.
I'm continuing in my general public comment about the same thing.
That's fine, yes.
Yeah. So that's how they are collecting information. ICE is able to gather that information, and historically they have been targeting that. We've seen what had happened in the city of Long Beach. We've seen what has happened in the city of Pasadena. So we have to also be looking at it that on one hand, we're speaking from both sides of our mouth that we are talking about sanctuary city. However, the infrastructure and the architecture of surveillance that has been set out, it is much more wider, it casts much wider net. So people are not safe at all. Then the other thing we want to say is that particularly this item becomes even more issue-based, because now what we pulled up the minutes from the Neighborhood Association, and there you have Captain Rich Galbadon of LAPD, who went to this meeting and he started doing racist fear-mongering, saying that these are South American thieves and South Enders. So this is what we have, that this is raising a specter of fear. This is about racism. This is about mass surveillance. This is about mass data collection. Speaker, your time has expired. So you need to vote no on this thing.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Number 2. All I want to say about just cause for eviction notice, this morning I put under my neighbor's door a email called, the young man is Nitya's deputy and his name is Santos Geiker, and I put it underneath the door. He's being evicted. And the thing is, this man is being evicted because I wanted to help him. I live in a Nazi building. Yeah. I'm going on to my next one. Anyway, Santos Geiker is a kid, and it's a wonderful kid, just like Nithya trained him to help evictions. Anyway, anyone who did me, I'm going on to my own. Anyone who did, to public comment, anyone who did me.
You have 1 minute for general, go ahead.
Anyone who did me a favor, like Professor Jordan, Pelirojo, or anyone who might say, I trust Harriet's judgment. I wouldn't, so these people would not be quick to dismiss what I say. All these people are dead. By the way, my leaders are dead. This man is named Robert Duncan. He's big time. He's a NATO scientist. He's dead. This woman, she's not like me. She's very religious. Renee Pittman, she's dead. Okay? Everybody says, let the police handle it. The police probably did this. Okay? We don't know why. I need an answer. Why is Renee not answering? Renee is dead. I asked Soto Martinez to look at her website. She's dead. It's an imposter. Yeah. I want people to tell me, where is Renee Pittman? She's about 47. 47 years old.
Speaker, your time has expired. Next speaker. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Yes, my name is Alex Lloyd, and I would like to speak on item number 5 regarding the Wilshire Business District Special Assessment for Zones 1, 2, and 3, and also a general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item. Go ahead.
I would like to start regarding the Wilshire Business District Special Assessment Zone. The business of being a landlord is being eroded and destroyed before our very eyes. Every single tax that we put on the mom and pop landlords who are struggling to survive in an inflationary environment in the city of Los Angeles is killing the business. Landlords are scared to collect their rent because of the over-regulation and over-legislation that is protecting the tenants. And while these protections are necessary, it is making it overburdened and over-difficult to conduct business of being a landlord. And generally, for my public comment, I would like to state that I see a lot of people chit-chatting in this room when this is a very serious place of discussion. People need to be paying attention, not having side discussions, talking about whatever it is, laughing. Even all the way up to the highest point of everyone in the room. People need to be paying attention and take this job very seriously. I don't see that here today. Thank you for your time.
Next speaker. Good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
21夜夜在我梦中见到你，感觉你，我的心仍为你移动。穿越层层时空，随着风入我梦，你的心从未曾不同。你我尽在不言中，你的爱伴我航行始终。飞翔如风般自由，让你我无忧无惧。22永远地活在爱中，只是一见钟情，两颗心已相通，刹那化成永恒情浓。愿命运总捉弄，几卷诗太匆匆，留我一生一世的痛。你我尽在不言中，你的爱伴我航行始终。23记得所有的感动，星光下我们紧紧相拥，飞翔如风般自由，让你我无忧无虑，永远的活在爱中。 Going to my general.
You have 1 minute.
So I would like to talk about the medicine prices in Los Angeles. So right now, I really cannot have a hard time to survive in the city of Los Angeles because the medication prices are so high. So I really need the Viagra to help me. However, every time when I go to CVS pharmacy in Los Angeles, every time I'm going to my doctor in Los Angeles, all of them giving me, I need to purchase medical Viagra. However, I'm not able to afford it. It's like $25, $30, $50 or something. So I understand our city council member are continuing to help everybody to have affordable medicine, affordable medication. But however, why I was not afforded? So every time when I was on Figueroa Street, and then those people from Council District 8, they informed me that for my better health, I definitely need a Viagra. However, I just could not afford it. I reached out to our council member president, council member Harry Stousen, but it seems like Harry Stousen is very unresponsive because I am not a black person. I do not qualify for any special assistance. But however, I believe that in city of Los Angeles, regardless you are black, regardless you are white, everybody should be afforded the equal amount of assistance.
So, Speaker, your time has expired. Right. Your timer wasn't running there. I was keeping track here. So your time has expired. You've gotten your full 4 minutes.
As far as, all the HACLA stuff, I'm all for helping the unhoused, but you guys don't have it together, right? So I don't know what you're doing, but you need to do a better job, especially with this windstorm coming. I hope you're helping the unhoused. As far as the taxi commission person, I'm not for or against. It's just what I'm concerned about. And shout out to Smoke and Scan. Maybe they can agree. They'll all agree with me there. That you guys just are not. You don't have your act together with anything. Because Bob owes me an apology. She owes me an apology. You know who you are. Okay. Except for Mr. McCosker, he's the only one who knows what he's doing. He's the only one I trust at this point.
You're welcome to speak to the string general.
Right. So this is about the taxi commission guy. Okay. So I trust if Mr. McCosker says that this guy is good, then I trust it. But if he doesn't, so it's up to what Mr. McCosker says. If he says he's good, I trust him. But everyone else, I don't trust you yet. Because you've been failing us over and over and over again. As far as all these lawsuits, how many lawsuits is it going to take?
So the closed session items were already voted on, and public hearing was already held at BFI. So again, please stick to the agenda items.
Okay,
or you can move to general if you'd like.
Okay, I'll move to general.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Okay, Bob, and I don't see Mr. McCosker. I know his name is Bob too, right? But we call him Mr. McCosker because he has my respect. But Bob, where are you? You owe me an apology for trying to violate my rights. And and where's the other one? Miss Rahman, you owe me an apology too. Don't forget it. I haven't forgotten it. I saw you on TV. No, Miss Padilla gave me. No, she's good. She's a shining star in the making. She's not Mr. McCosker level yet, but with Smoke and Scan, watching all your shenanigans, she's doing good. But but anyway, so I'm here too. Where's Hugo? You are failing us miserably. I am bringing you a Scientology billionaire contract because even it's the new year, you cannot get the 251 non-ADA compliant planters removed. Because why? Are you a Scientologist? I'm convinced you are at this point. Or are you just ineffective at what you do? Mr. McCosker would have had it removed a long time ago.
So, Speaker, your time has expired. Next speaker. Good morning. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Yes, and a nasty new year to all of you, except for Tammy. So, number one, the wine station. I'm surprised that Isabel would support all of this alcohol. What are you, Kevin 2.0 with a skirt? Stand up and be counted, lady. There's too many liquor licenses. Vote no on all that shit. I thought you were for Kevin. Kevin's done. He's like a roast. Then we have number 2, the just cause enforcement fee. Here it goes, people. Taxes on small landlords. So today the city council will continue to fuck small landlords. Let's give them a hand. Well done. Yes, that's right. And that is the lifetime dream of a young Nithya. When she was over there in India, living in squalor, she dreamed of coming here to America and destroying the middle class. You're finally doing it, Nithya. Keep up the good work. George Soros sends his love to you. And then, of course, we have other bullshit, which we'll get to quickly. KKK Katie Yaroslavsky, and number 3. Fuck her. I'm not even
Item
gonna
number
read
3
her
has been continued, so please move on to another item.
Okay, yes, but I still say fuck her, though. Number 4, let me see here. The Los Feliz Business Village District. Why, look at what's happening. Nithya collaborating with Hugo Stalin, known as a possible Scientologist. Is that what you're going to do, Hugo? Giving in to Nithya and her Scientology beliefs and passing taxes onto business? Vote no. Yeah, look at that. Yes, and then we have the sellout continues of our former Eunices Hernandez, who will now be known as Eunices Schwartz. And item number 5, selling out with a bid. A bid is not a business improvement district. A bid is a fucking property tax. Ask Tim McOsker, known as Buckethead. Buckethead, is that fair? Should Eunices pass a tax on Langers and other businesses for fucking them out of their police services for 20 years, Tim? Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't the businesses be compensated for damages for the inability of the city to secure their streets instead of taxing them? Well, Tim, this is like freeing slaves and charging them to remove their chains after they've been freed. That's what's going on here. You don't want to charge slave fees, do you? You're not a slaver, are you? Yes, and
General.
finally, today we will pay tribute to the late Jimmy Carter, everybody. Let's congratulate him for finally dying. Yes, no more Secret Service. No more having to spend money on that old decrepit fool. And of course, let us give a shout out to Shimsad bin Laden. What was his name? Jabbar. Yes, the late Mr. Jabbar. Let's give him a hand. Excellent. And of course, don't forget the Green Beret, because we thank all of our military for their service, especially that gentleman over in Las Vegas who's fortunately fucked up that detonator and only injured 7 people. Let's give him a hand. Very good. Yes, that's right, people. Yes, Marchese, so sleazy, you don't wear a tie to a business meeting. You look like a pimp on Prozac there, my friend. So finally, fuck all of you.
Time has expired.
And
Next speaker. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Good morning. David Gaishan with the Apartment Association of Greater Los Angeles, speaking on item 2 in general public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
Thank you. This ordinance is particularly egregious, coming on the heels of the mayor's press conference claiming to want to link arms with housing providers as partners to house veterans. Rental housing providers are not the enemy, and the city cannot afford to buy into this extremist lie. Rental housing providers are providing the housing that the city itself has failed to build and continues to fail to build. We are part of the solution to housing. Creating an enforcement program with severe late penalties as those already proposed by LAHD clearly shows an openly hostile and abusive stance by the city towards rental housing providers. Endorsing such a program with no advanced education campaign creates an intentional trap for owners to fall into in order to enrich the city and purposefully harm rental housing providers. Such despicable treatment of private property owners should be opposed by the entire city council for lack of basic fairness, and LAHD should not be given sole authority to set abusive fees. Passing this item as an urgency ordinance only multiplies the intentional harm inflicted upon the rental housing providers by LAHD's purposeful lack of advanced reasoning. Thank you.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Morning, Grote. I'd like to speak on 18, 17, 35, and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
I just wonder, are you going to ever call on Adam? He was here way before I was or other people, and he always gets stuck at the end. For item 18, this is Councilmember Park moving money from homeless services to LAPD overtime. Money from homeless services to LAPD overtime. Just really rich. This is campaign season, so we're going to see a whole lot more of those efforts to bring home the bacon in the purest form. There's always more money in the banana stand when it comes to LAPD. We can always fill the trough for the pigs. For item 17, this is on Van Nuys Neighborhood Council engagement. And Councilmember Padilla, I wonder, it's been a year since we met in the Valley. It's been a year since we met in the Valley. If we cared about Van Nuys community engagement, maybe we'd meet in Van Nuys. I'm sure Councilmember Padilla would love to be out there, but her colleagues, maybe council leadership isn't so keen on going out there. But at least for the last year, Councilmember Padilla has been able to say, hey, we have remote public comment. That's convenient. That allows you to be accessible with City Hall. That's no longer the case. The ghost of Nuri Martinez is here. Once again, remote public comment is being killed off. That was something that was brought back after the Fed tapes, when y'all were trying to rebuild trust with folks.
So you're welcome to speak to this, but I'm going to ask you to do it during general, please. Go ahead.
I'll go to 35, the standing committees. And our Rules Committee has now absorbed the Governance Reform Committee, and it just really speaks for itself. We have Councilmember Lee, who in a few weeks is going to be facing 10 ethics violations in an administrative hearing, but he's on the Rules Committee. Another member of the committee is Councilmember Sono Martinez, no offense, but is an enemy of reform. 1 out of those 5 people actually supports council expansion. The thing speaks for itself. I want to remind you, 4 out of the 5 committee members represent constituents that voted for Measure G to expand the county board by double digits. Council President, your district voted for that measure by 20 points. 3 out of 5 of you, your district voted for the measure by 20 to 30 points. Hugo, yours was the highest. What we saw with Councilmember Rodriguez just indicates the reality. You can be as corrupt or racist as you want, but you cannot speak out against the council president. That is unforgivable. And history teaches us there's nothing more dangerous than a person that has nothing to lose. And I just worry for you, because instead
General
of
public comment.
Councilmember Rodriguez blowing steam in committee, she'll be able to do that at the full council. And she'll be making a lot of sense to some people. And can get a whole lot messier for you. Now, with the end of remote public comment, I've been waiting for this day since our new council president came to power. I said it when you were confirmed. I was waiting for the next council agenda to see if remote comment would be ended. 10 minutes was apparently too much for a community coalition. Community coalition, what do those words mean? And why is it that the two former leaders of it are so opposed to reform in the city of LA and community input? Becoming increasingly clear that both of them are opposed to this charter reform ever and don't even want to see it happen. Now, I've learned my lesson with the previous council presidents, and I will not be patient. As Marquis said one time, my cuppeth has runneth over. There will be some shared pain. Enjoy.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Marquis, which ones did I submit on the kiosk?
So again, I'm going to ask you which items you'd like to speak to, or you can have 1 minute for general if you'd like.
All items in general public comment, since
so
Marquis is too busy playing
3
Candy
minutes for the
Crush. Go look
items
it up
and
on
1
his
minute for
computer.
general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
All right, so we have 4, Andrew Gravener for the new ones. 4 is, I think it was, one of them was related to tenants and eviction stuff. Stop evicting tenants. We have, let's see, let's move on to, we have a bunch of items here. Let me move back up here to 16, which is, let's see, hang on. Okay, so we have REAP items. So how about you eliminate rent? We have 17, which is related to community engagement in the Van Nuys Neighborhood Council. It's getting a little harder for residents of Van Nuys to be engaged in their community since you've eliminated call-in comment in our local government. It takes a while to get out here from Van Nuys. We have item 18, which is a motion from Officer Tracy and City Staffer B for some more patrols around interim housing sites. How about we get the cops away from those interim housing sites? We have item 20, which is related to automated license plate readers. No on that. We have item 22, which is related to a tiny tool shed village from Soto Martinez. How about we get actual housing rather than those little tiny tool shed things that, fall over in the wind? We have, let's see, we got additional homelessness services in CD1. What are those services? Not really specified. We have, let's see, 32 is continued. Let's continue that one forever. We do have the committee schedules. So, you insisted on rushing through the committee structure motion with a whole, it's an emergency, we need to start having committee meetings. Then you didn't put the committee schedule until today, so no committees are even meeting this week. Literally 0 committees are meeting this week. So there was absolutely no reason to rush through the committee structure. Oh wait, there was. You didn't want public input on it. So yeah, you literally have no committee meetings this week because you didn't pass the schedule until now. Anyway, the schedule itself is awful. I mean, come on, the schedule's, let's hold meetings in the evening.
General public comment.
And let's have call-in comment for the committees, just like the city council. We used to have call-in comment for city council until today. But Marquise, everyone's pick for the progressives' pick for council president, decided to go ahead and remove call-in comment with no warning, no announcement, just disappeared from the agenda today. I mean, yes, I know some of the call-in comments were a bit weird, to put it one way. That doesn't mean they don't have a right to come in and tell us about their escapades on Figueroa Street or whatever. I mean, technically they do have a right to give public comment, and it's much better for public input if you have call-in comment. Same with committee meetings. There should be call-in comment. Now, finally, for my last few seconds, why was a person who wasn't even disrupting the meeting arrested at a recent meeting and held for like a week for no charges?
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
My name's Adam from the LA Community Action Network, speaking on 1820 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Great. On number 18, Councilmember Park's re-election website, where, quote, end encampments is a foreboding subject line, she states that she will, quote, immediately work on creating programs to incentivize the construction of affordable housing and protect our existing stock, unquote. This agenda item shows what her priority is: more cops to target poor people. If she cared about, quote, incentivizing affordable housing, she wouldn't be fighting tooth and nail along with the city attorney against the Venice Dell housing project that this council has previously approved. Why in words, Councilmember Park, do you want to help poor people, but in practice you want to disappear them into jails and coffins? Number 20, as Councilmember Park moves to bring more automated license plate readers to CD11 under the premise of so-called targeted surveillance, we know that this is false and that the LAPD shares this data collected with ICE through fusion centers, despite police commissions pretending that they don't. As is usual, LAPD continues to gaslight concerned residents and tone down the expanse of what ALPRs and LAPD's other technologies do. Though LAPD tries to portray these plate scans as being non-controversial to collect, as it is, information that is in the public view, this disregards what happens to that information, which is kept by LAPD for years and is accessible to other agencies as well. In the wake of the sanctuary ordinance that everyone here except Tracy Park voted for last month, what is the role of the council in actually putting these protections into practice? What is the role of this council in mitigating the harm caused by LAPD technological expansion? General public comment.
1 minute.
Thank you. I hope all the LAPD officers celebrating January 6th yesterday aren't too hungover to come to work. Speaking of cops that aren't here today, Officer Susha Singh from this council's detail tried to and failed miserably to be an anonymous troll on my Twitter account over the holidays, laughing at the fact that my family vehicle was stolen while using his now deactivated Twitter account to champion child abuse, child rape, racism, and other deplorable things, while bragging about being an LAPD cop. Anyway, I hope you had a happy holiday season, Officer Singh, wherever you are recovering from your myriad afflictions. In addition to noticing the flailing online antics of sad little cops over the holidays, I also noticed that the ability to call into this meeting to provide public comment has also been pulled in that time. President Harris Dawson, do you feel a democracy is best functioning when working folks can't take time off to come to City Council to speak? Do you find that it works well for houseless people that can't leave their shit unattended because city workers will steal their property to not?
Speaker, your time has expired.
Quick announcements on the developments on the Pacific Palisades fire. This is growing very rapidly. It is now at over 200 acres. It is threatening homes and infrastructure and lives. Voluntary evacuations are currently underway. We expect mandatory evacuation orders to be following shortly. So my message to residents in the area is to pack your bags, be ready to go. This is an emergency. So thank you very much for that, and to all of our partners at the fire department and the EOC for springing into action. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So you all heard it. The fire is growing rapidly. We'll ask everybody to evacuate as they are requested.